Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play of Now Boarding. In the previous episode, we really started to expand our operations in the Chicago area, as well as around the northeastern US, and gotten a bit more stuff done. And in this episode, we're going to continue that trend of expanding our operations in the northeast, and maybe get some new planes and such. So, without further ado, let's head back to the northeast. Alright, I think I want to actually do a little rearranging for now. Alright, that looks good. Now let's start off the month. But first, actually, I have enough to actually buy Kansas City, but that will leave me about $965 bucks. I could also invest in another 737, or acquire some new equipment for the terminal. Let's see. Walkstar is 14 grand. Well, I do need some place for people to get their drinks, so let's get a juice bar and see if we can, like, cram it somewhere. I guess this will have to do. No, I don't want to sell it. I want to move this picture to this part of the wall, but I guess I'll have to make it look like this. Okay. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's get started with the next month. Alright, got our 3 airplanes coming in. Now, let's see. 3 people for Indianapolis, 2 are heading for Atlanta. Let's see, Indianapolis, St. Louis, and back to Indianapolis. Pick up some passengers in Des Moines, then Cincinnati, and then to Atlanta. We got 4 people for Atlanta. And that plane is going to accidentally pick them up and bring them up to Chicago. Alright, we'll get these passengers something to eat and drink before they get ready for the flight back. Let's see. Let's get these passengers back on the Atlanta flight. And actually pick up a couple more passengers. Oh! Money! I'm getting that. And, let's see, yeah, that should do it. Yep, 750 extra bucks. That's what we need. Go down, go up here, then here, then here. I mean, I wish I could click on the passengers instead of accidentally clicking on the map to make it bigger. Let's see, got 2 passengers for D's Montees. Let's see, D's Montees, St. Louis, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis, I think. I won't be able to get that money cloud, I don't think. Because we gotta really focus on getting all these passengers transported, because many of them are not looking very happy right now. Well, we're back in the 10 grand mark. Let's see. Down to Atlanta as quickly as possible. Missed out on the money cloud. Let's see, St. Louis, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Ortiz, Indianapolis, Atlanta, St. Louis. Let's see, Ortiz, Louis, Cincinnati, Atlanta. I don't boarding. Okay, no more passengers responding on the map, so we can at least now try to get everybody delivered. Let's get these passengers back to St. Louis. B for those Chicago passengers. Let's see. Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Got those passengers to Chicago. Send the plane down to Atlanta, and we are good for the month. Awesome. Alright. Managed to get about 11 grand back, so we can now start to expand, although I still need to get a bigger plane. Let's see, maybe I could sell one of these off. Let's see, sell for about 4,500. Let's do that and just buy a bigger airplane instead. Alright. A trade-in for a 737 for a 767, which will be very beneficial in keeping up these traffic demands. Okay, let's see. It will go down to Cincinnati on this flight. You're also going to go down to Cincinnati and then to Atlanta. Let's see. Pick up some passengers, T's, more T's, and head down to Cincinnati. Get some people for St. Louis and T's, more T's. Get them back on. Go to these destinations. Let's see. Okay. We'll definitely need that money out, so. Oh, that plane is already going through it. Nice. Oh, wait. Did I get that twice? I'm not so sure. Let's head to St. Louis on that flight. Let's head to Cincinnati, then back to Atlanta and Cincinnati again. And then head down to Atlanta. Do the same for those passengers that weren't able to get on, and we'll send that plane out. Let's see. Got some passengers for Atlanta. Here comes one of the planes now. Carrying a whole bunch of people for Chicago and some T's, more T's. We got a huge payload of people heading to Atlanta. We got one for Indianapolis. Let's see, I need that cash if you please. Thank you. Head back up. Let's see, we're actually making pretty steady income by this point. We may not have every single destination unlocked, but I think that will probably be the end goal for these missions in the game. We'll practically just focus on getting everything else done first, and then focusing on expanding to other destinations. Because goodness knows that there's going to be so many people wanting to fly their airline. Right, final boarding. Passengers responding on the map. Gonna just take care of the 767 to get these people from Atlanta. Unless that flight takes care of it first. Yeah, it will. That means I got one passenger to take directly to Cincinnati. Alright, 82 passengers, a bit of an increase. And we got 14 grand. Now then, let's actually buy the Wok Stop. Because it's Asian cuisine, but it should be much more expensive. Let's see, let's put this on this side of the wall, I think. It's as long as it doesn't block the entrance. Well, blocks the exit. And I think I might be able to get some passengers to get into those areas. Let's see. Designing this airport is like a puzzle. You have to be very meticulous on where everything goes. Let's see. We need 2 8-seaters and 1 12-seater. We have 150 passengers delivered by the single month, as well as the destinations. I do also want to get the information booth as well, but we'll have to finish the next month first. Now then, let's see. We got a lot of people heading for Chicago, some heading for Atlanta, and some heading for Indianapolis. We'll just put them all on this plane and make a cut of 3 hop stop. Alright. That should take care of it for now. We got some people heading towards St. Louis, so let's plane that way. I also want to get some people this way too, because there's that money cloud and I can always use some extra cash. 750, that's good. Alright, we got some people heading for St. Louis. We'll put some people back on the airplane. Go up to Des Moines, then to Atlanta, then to Cincinnati. Get these 2 for Cincinnati on this flight, but I'll also do a bit of a hop to Atlanta for extra passengers and to get that extra cash. Alright, let's see. 3 people for St. Louis, 2 people for Atlanta. We'll just take care of the St. Louis one for now. Okay. Let's see. Let's get those people on along with the rest. Go to Atlanta, then to St. Louis, to Des Moines, I believe, because I think those passengers are wearing the D on their shirt. Gonna do that so I can get some extra happiness from my passengers. Cincinnati, then Des Moines, then Indianapolis. Get some passengers for Atlanta. Take care of that. Atlanta, then St. Louis, then Atlanta again, and then back to Chicago. Let's see, let's add these other passengers into the flight. Let's see. Des Moines, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Atlanta, St. Louis, and then Des Moines again. Got another for Des Moines. Get those passengers on board and send that plane out. Got 5 people at St. Louis who wanted to go to Atlanta. Got some people for Chicago, that's good. Alright, let's see, we gotta get that plane sent out. Let's see, Indianapolis, Atlanta, and St. Louis. Let's see, actually. Des, Indianapolis, Atlanta, and St. Louis. And we got 1 flight of passengers heading straight for Atlanta. Let's see. Let's see, St. Louis and Cincinnati. Oh, we got 1 more passenger to transport, and that's for St. Louis. I'll have to charter 1 special flight for this 1 passenger, and I think that should be it. Yep, 83, and we got ourselves over 10 grand. Now let's see. Let's actually sell this one and acquire another 767 airplane. Alright, 2-seater airplanes, that's what we need. I wonder, maybe it's about time that we started adding some more employees to the roster. we've got Coop, we've got Leroy, Michelle, and Victoria. But we'll probably start adding them to our employee list once we start making a bit more money. Now, with 2 bigger airplanes, we should be able to handle a much larger amount of passengers. Let's get these passengers on board, head to Cincinnati, Atlanta, and then to St. Louis, as well as pick up some passengers for Chicago. And plus, with these bigger planes, I can practically go all over this map, so I don't really need the 737s anymore. Let's see, these more T's, then to Cincinnati, then to St. Louis, and then to Atlanta. Let's see. Let's set up a plane down for Atlanta for this flight. Just get some people onto this one. Head to Indianapolis, then to Cincinnati, and then just fly back to Chicago. Okay, we got some passengers for these Montees. Put them onto this flight, take them here and pick up those passengers from Chicago, then head here, then here, down here to here, and then back to Chicago. And we got some more people heading to Chicago on this flight. Might as well pick up the pieces on that one. Okay, get to there, down there, and then back up. Let's see. Some passengers for the D's Montees flight. Let's see. Get some passengers for the Atlanta flight. We get some people for the Indianapolis flight. Let's put them onto this flight. Get the rest of these passengers for Atlanta. This plane will be very much out of the way for a while, but at least, however, it will help keep our passengers on the move. Let's see, do that, send that plane out. Let's see, Atlanta and St. Louis. Right, one of the planes is brought in, and that's Friday morning. No more passengers on the map. And go down to Atlanta. Let's see, any stragglers? 2 for St. Louis, but that's just it. Get those passengers on board and send the plane out. There we go! Now with our new airplanes, we're slowly increasing the amount of passengers we're delivering month by month. And it rolls up still at 2,000, but if we add any extra employees, it's going to go up to 6,000 a month. So we need to think about this logically. I could bring in more employees to speed everything, or acquire more airplanes and destinations. Well, one thing's for sure, I really don't think I need another 737 anymore. So that plane is going, and I think we'll just keep what we have. But for the sake of operations, I think I'm going to hire some more employees to the operation. So we're going to have Coupe help out in docking. Let's see, not be good at ticketing, has customer service, so we'll have him work with Lena. Michelle would not be good as a gate attendant, has prior experience in ticketing, so I'll put her with her. And Victoria has gate experience in the gate attendant sector. Alright, so 6 grand a month, and I believe we might be able to get started on the next month and finish this off. Alright, now we got a whole bunch of new employees here. But this means that I'll have to earn, it will take me a couple more months to earn more money to really expand my operations. Okay, let's see, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Atlanta, and back to St. Louis. Let's see, St. Louis to Cincinnati. Oh wait, let's go down here and get that extra... Oh wait, I already did that, never mind. Well, Leroy hasn't done anything yet, but he will eventually once this airport gets more and more crowded with me. Oh jeez, those passengers are not happy. Well, thankfully they're part of a group. Let's see. Okay, Indianapolis to Cincinnati. St. Louis, Cincinnati, Atlanta, and then up to Des Moines, and then back to Chicago. Let's see. Okay, so we got some passengers. Alright, Leroy is doing his job. Good. Let's see. St. Louis to Atlanta on this flight. Let's see. We got so many people here. Let's see, Des Moines, who's in Indianapolis. 2 for Atlanta and 2 for, well, Indianapolis. Passengers onto this one, go down to Atlanta, and then back up to Chicago. Let's see. Atlanta. There's a lot of people wanting to go down to Atlanta, surprisingly, and yep, $750. That's good. That is very good. Let's see. Alright, final warning. Extra passengers on the map. All we just have to do is just take care of the rest. And ooh, man, those passengers did not look happy at all. Let's see. Do that. Let's see, Des Moines to Atlanta. Gotta get those passengers back on board for the flight, for their flight home. Set the plane. And I believe once the splinter arrives in Atlanta, we should be done with the month. Let's see how we did. 86 passengers, and whoa. With the higher payroll, our income was cut in half, but still, $22,850 is a pretty good amount of money to end off this episode. So, if you had enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play of Now Boarding, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!